Hey, what's up, Sock Drawer? So it's probably been a while since I last talked to you one-on-one. No commentaries, flaming mains, or laughing at silly builds, or hell, even a combination of the two. Today I really want to just sit us both down and talk to you, because I don't really get a chance to do that all that often. Even as you're watching this now, there's a very good chance I'm currently talking to members of my community in London, or I'm packing, getting ready to go down to London to do stuff at Comic-Con to meet all you guys. I'll be doing my best to try and live up to like whatever expectation you may have of me in your head. So please, there's nothing really happening on screen, just some background footage of a random League of Legends game. Feel free to tab back into whatever you were doing before you clicked on this video. If you're playing a League of Legends game, you're playing something on your phone, you're just in bed chilling out, I'm just going to talk to you, and when I say that, I mean I am talking to you directly. So I was just having a conversation with my friend the other day, someone who is not in the same industry as me, but her industry is probably more cutthroat than YouTube is, if not similarly. And despite the fact that both of us have kind of had things stacked against us with countless talented people and competition in our industries, we have managed to somewhat break through the pack and are doing well. We were talking about work and generally about working hard. The conversation drifted and she eventually told me that another friend of hers sent her a message a few days prior saying, "Oh, I knew you were destined for greatness. I knew you were destined to be successful." And despite the semi-sincere meaning behind it all, I kind of felt like saying that to someone who works really hard is ever so slightly patronizing, and I want to talk to you today about your dreams and about how I honestly feel like there are things that can be achieved with the right attitude, and for me personally, and most importantly, realistic expectations. Now, I've had friends tell me before, "Ross, I always kind of knew you'd end up doing something like this," and honestly, I guess I kind of knew it too, and I'm not talking about YouTube inherently, but from a really young age, I was fascinated with working with computers. Back before my father left, he would teach me HTML. He would teach me how to build my own websites. When I was 8 or 9 years old, I built my very first website for my birthday, which I had like silly Pokeballs bouncing around on, and it was just terrible. By the time I was 15, I was actually running a streaming website. It was non-profit, but it was just a community where gamers would come to hang out and watch someone play silly games whilst chatting to each other. This was long before Twitch even existed, and we'd hold movie nights, which, whilst a little bit illegal, were special to a lot of people. We had hundreds of people watching old nostalgia games like Simpsons Hit and Run or Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It was honestly so much fun. I know it's kind of off topic, but I had a really soft spot for that website and the people that helped make it what it was. I was always fascinated with creating things for other people to enjoy, and despite being pretty critical of myself, I made things because I wanted other people to enjoy them. And YouTube was an outlet for that, and maybe that's why it went so well for me, and things kind of fell into place eventually. So when people say things like that to me, I can't help but agree, and with you, it might be the same case. You might be deeply into music, not just from an I listen to music standpoint, but it encapsulates you as a person. If people were to talk about you, you'd be that music guy. And that could be anything. It could be music, art, programming, computer stuff like myself. You could have a real love for mathematics or literature. Now, you might be coming up to that age of your life as well, where people are starting to ask you, what do you want to do? What is the path you go down? For some of you, you may have already made that decision, and it has led the right way, or now you're at the end of that pathway regretting going right instead of left. And I think that's such a huge fear for a lot of people, the fear that as they come into the final hours of their lifetime, they dwell on the regret of not pursuing that thing that encapsulated them so much, that instead of striving to become a musician, a nurse, a doctor, you took what you felt was the easier, safer option. And this is what all ties back into what that one guy said. You were destined for this. I have some friends who truly believe in the concept of fate, the idea that everything happens for a reason, and I honestly cannot say that I feel the same way. To say that your success, or my success, or my friend's success is anything other than the product of countless hours of work, passion, and heartbreak is just such an offensive thing to suggest, I feel. The idea of destiny when it comes to success just seems like such a spit in the face in the entire idea of success. It's almost as if you didn't need to try. You were just going to get there. You were going to get to that point regardless of what you did. Now, success is something that is incredibly different for everyone. Sure, some people were born into multi-million-dollar families and they never have to work a day in their lives. But do you honestly think that that is considered success? That just existing in a comfy lifestyle is any way successful? Now, your idea of success and mine might differ slightly. Now, your idea of success might be to own a big house with fancy cars, whereas mine is to try and leave a mark before I leave this world. I don't care about living fancy. I just want to live and maybe try and make everything a little bit brighter. But still, those are different goals and still pretty big goals that need to be worked towards. And with those goals come expectations. And this is where I really want to actually drop some kind of lesson to come out of this to maybe some of the younger people watching my channel. For me personally, I would never have gotten to this point 3 or 4 years almost down the line where I'm sitting with such a large, incredible audience of people to talk to if it wasn't for the fact that I kept my goals small and attainable. I know I'm not the biggest YouTuber on planet Earth. I know I'm not big really in any regard, but for me personally, it's a big thing. Now, I strive to achieve smaller goals and goals that I realistically think that I can make. And I honestly, truly think that keeping your expectations small and succinct is essential to maintaining motivation. It is really so easy to blow expectations wide open. Now, I can make a YouTube video and I could say, I want this video to get 1 million views in 2 days. Now, if I genuinely think that is possible, after 2 days, my motivation is going to be completely destroyed when it comes to making more videos if it doesn't reach the goal that I want it to reach. As unrealistic as that goal might be, if I genuinely believe I think it can happen, even if all logic would dictate otherwise, I'm gonna get destroyed. Instead, I'm far more about making small goals, making sure I hit smaller deadlines to give myself some feeling of progress, whether that be finishing this specific video or finishing that project that I never got finished before, or maintaining views, or maybe just small growth every single day. Maybe like 50, 100 subs. I'm like, that's great. We're going in the right direction. It doesn't matter if someone's gaining 10,000 subs per day. At least I'm not going backwards and I'm not losing subscribers. And it's something that I would kind of urge people to try doing the same for. Like, how many times have you found a new hobby that you enjoy? Maybe like one off the top of my head would be like Dungeons and Dragons or Warhammer or something. Instead of taking it really slowly to like slowly build up something and learn the rules of everything and just get engrossed in it slowly but surely, have people help you out, you just dive in head first. You try and take everything at once. You think you can take absolutely everything in, take everything on board. All that happens is you end up getting overwhelmed and you end up giving up what you thought was going to be like a really great hobby or a really great passion very, very quickly. It's exactly the same for work. If you think you're able to take on so much, maybe you're working at university right now and you're also juggling a job. Maybe you're in college, maybe you're in high school. You're just taking on so much stuff at the same time that you might end up feeling overwhelmed because you just expect to be able to get straight A's. You just expect to be able to get top marks and everything without working towards it. Now, let me just say this. You're not destined for shit. You're not destined for a damn thing. And that sounds bad, right? It sounds like, it sounds like I'm saying you're nothing, right? And honestly, I guess as much as I would thank that person for their kind words for telling me that I was destined for this, I know that I was never, and I have never been destined for anything. Just like you exist. I exist. That is it. That is as far as that goes. We might be destined to exist, but there is nothing beyond that. That is it. We could easily both sit on our asses doing absolutely nothing with our lives until the day we die. That would be a pretty cushy lifestyle. I honestly, I could easily do that. You could easily do that. It wouldn't take any effort, but that's on us to do. It's not on destiny. Everything that you really want to achieve in life is going to take work. And sure, there's going to be people that come along who are far more talented than you, or that just happen to know the right people. But as long as you can say to yourself that you worked for it and you have personally achieved your idea of success, And that's really all that matters. The idea that we're destined for this, like there isn't years and years of heartbreak and sleepless nights and stress, and it just seems to devalue the whole thing, you know? I mean, I sure would like to live in a mansion. I'd love to live in a big house with a comfy lifestyle, but could I do that knowing that it was all handed to me? Or would I feel better about it sitting there knowing that destiny was just gonna hand it to me anyway? Or would I rather sit there knowing that I worked my fucking ass off for 40 years to try and get to this position, you know? I think it would always be the latter, and I'd like to think that everything tastes sweeter when you work for it, when you've earned it, and that's what I want to tell you. So thank you very much for sitting with me for 10 minutes or so whilst I talk about what's on my mind. Thank you for letting me have this kind of weird conversation with you that's one-sided. I truly appreciate you sitting and having a listen, and we'll be back to the comedy videos tomorrow, but yeah, take it easy.